Hello everyone, this is Gary from iFood Test channel. Let's learn together to become a full stack tester. In this video, I'm going to detail the API, retrieve the details of a single listing, and how to script the corresponding testing script. Let's start. The API means retrieves the details of a single listing. The key request fields are as below. This API needs authentication. We choose to set the request field listing ID with dynamic data, which correlates from the upstream API general search response. The key response fields are as below. We can filter response data with the hasByNow tag for downstream API by an option using ByNow directly to use. And we can check the transaction status through the shipping options related subfields from the response. This is the example request and response. Let's do the scripting work. See, the request is as below. In the last video, we randomly choose one listing ID from a response with given conditions and store it to an environmental variable named single listing ID for our current API to use. Now is the time we invoke this dynamic data. Here. This API needs authentication, so fill in authentication information first. How to get the authentication related fields, please refer to the first video of this series. Then to assemble the main API request. The final step is to code the PostScript to check the final status of this transaction. Look at the code. First, filter data that has the hasByNow tag. In that way, we could win an item through the ByNow, but not an auction process. Second, we loop the shipping options related subfields. Here we set the shipping method I intend to pick up as the highest priority. If we found the response has such a method, we choose this method and jump out of the loop. Otherwise, we randomly pick one shipping ID and shipping method from the left shipping options. Then set the shipping ID as an environment variable for later the downstream API by an auction using ByNow request. Third, mark the transaction as passed. Otherwise, make it as failed. Because we have got the dynamic data from response of upstream API for our current main API request to invoke. See, we get the dynamic data here. We could check these items details from the front-end UI page. We visit this ideals detail and click the ByNow auction. ByNow button. Then we find our shipping methods options. Here, find the shipping method I intend to pick up. Our script logic will prioritize this option. Finally, let us send our main request and check the response. See if we get the response and the test results as passed. It's the response. Find the shipping options here. See, they are the same with our front-end UI side. And we prioritize the shipping ID 2, which is the method I intend to pick up. Continue to enhance the script, such as parameterization, and extend negative test cases to cover as much as possible the business scope. Till now, we have gone through the API details, so let me wrap up this video. First, we assemble the request with authentication information. Second, we filter response data with a has by now tag. Third, we set the strategy for choosing the shipping ID and method. Fourth, we set the shipping ID to environmental variable for later downstream API requests to use. Then we mark the final status of this transaction. Finally, enhance the script and extend other negative cases. The next video will detail the API by an auction using buy now. Combined with our previous other 4 APIs, these 5 APIs can form a closed circle to cover the whole buying process. If you like this video or series, don't forget to click subscribe. Your encouragement would be my motivation to publish full-stack testing related practices continuously. See you next time.